My girlfriend said I was worthless and didn't deserve her, until I left with the person who had silently been watching over me. I'm tired of poor losers like you. My girlfriend Wen Ning pushed away my proposal ring and sat on the rich heir's lap in front of everyone. This kind of pathetic guy will be back begging for me within 2 days. Looking at her arrogant face, I turned and left. A month later, I announced my relationship with the TV station's top female host during a national broadcast. The spineless man who washed her clothes, cooked for her, and groveled for 5 years was already dead. She frantically rushed into the TV station, kneeling and crying. Please don't abandon me. I'm willing to have your children. Too late. That woman who silently protected me is the only one I want to marry in this life. On the day the game launched as scheduled, I raised my hand to rub my brows. For this moment, I had lost count of how many all-nighters I'd pulled. But it was all worth it. This was my 5th anniversary with Wen Ning, and I wanted to propose to her. I specially hired 2 photographers to capture this important moment. Wen Ning always complained that I lacked a sense of ceremony. This time, I wanted to give her a surprise. Arriving at the reserved private room, just as I was about to push the door open, I heard a familiar voice coming from inside. Ning Ning, are you really going to play Chen Xiao like this? He's been so good to you. Good? Huh, isn't he just a poor loser? Making some worthless game all day, doesn't even have a proper job. If it weren't for his somewhat decent face, I would have kicked him to the curb long ago. Wen Ning's contemptuous voice came through. My hand froze on the doorknob, my heart feeling like it was being tightly squeezed. But he works on freelance projects until dawn just to buy you designer bags. That's his own pathetic choice. Wen Ning sneered. You know what? Last month he was hospitalized for a stomach hemorrhage and called me saying he missed me. I found him annoying and hung up immediately. And this idiot still came wagging his tail to bring me breakfast the next day, saying he was worried I'd go hungry. A burst of laughter erupted from the private room. I remember that day, lying in the hospital bed, my body full of needles, just wanting to hear her voice. But what I got in return was only a cold, busy tone. Ning, isn't he coming to propose today? Do you really plan to propose? As if he's worthy. Wen Ning's voice was full of contempt. I've been wondering how to dump this lapdog. Perfect. Today I'll reject him in front of everyone and crush his hopes once and for all. But just wait and watch the show. This kind of poor loser will be begging me to take him back within 2 days. Wanna bet? Loser pays the bill tonight. I took out the ring box from my pocket, bought with money I'd say. Vet for a year. When Ning once said she liked this style, I had specially kept it in mind. At that moment, the private room door was suddenly pulled open. Chen Xiao? You, when did you get here? When Ning's best friend saw me, her expression changing. In the room, when Ning was sitting on a man's lap. Seeing me, she remained calm and unhurried, instead looking at me provocatively. Perfect timing, saves me the trouble of finding you. She stood up and walked toward me in her high heels. Chen Xiao, let's break up. How could a poor loser like you deserve to be with me? I looked at this unfamiliar woman before me, with all the memories from the past 5 years flashing through my mind. What I thought was sweetness was just a joke in her eyes. When Ning, these 5 years, I truly loved you. Love me? She snickered. You dare to say you love me? What can you do besides being a sycophant? She turned and wrapped her arm around that man's. See this? This is the kind of man I want. He's wealthy and ambitious. Not like you, making some worthless games all day, without even a proper job. I clutched the ring box in my hand. That day when I had a gastric hemorrhage, why didn't you answer my calls? Can you stop being so annoying? She frowned impatiently. Why should I care about you? Who do you think you are? Everyone in the private room was watching this scene, some snickering, others shaking their heads. I took a deep breath and turned to leave. Stop right there. When Ning suddenly called out to me. Weren't you going to propose? Where's the ring? Take it out and let everyone see what kind of ring you can afford. I turned to look at her, her eyes full of mockery. Before I could speak, she snatched the ring box from my hand, but froze when she opened it. It was the style she had once lingered over for a long time at the mall. This isn't. Her voice trembled slightly. I took the ring box back and tossed it into the garbage bin. When Ning, I wish you happiness. As I walked out of the private room, I heard her hurried footsteps. Chen Xiao? Stop right there. How dare you treat me like this? I didn't look back, walking straight toward the elevator. Behind me came her furious voice. Don't think I don't know. You poor wretch. You're nothing without me. You'll come crawling back begging me in 2 days at most. The elevator doors slowly closed, shutting out her shrill voice. I leaned against the elevator wall and closed my eyes. So it turned out that in her heart, I was never someone worthy of being loved. Late at night, I walked alone on the deserted street. My phone kept vibrating, all missed calls from Wen Ning. The last text message read, Chen Xiao, how dare you treat me like this? Do you think you can find a better woman than me? I smiled bitterly as I turned off my phone. The scene from earlier twisted like a knife in my heart. 5 years of sincere love, so dismissible in her eyes. Just as I was about to return to my rented room to pack my belongings, my phone rang again. It was my junior calling. Senior, good news. Our game data exploded. And Y City TV station wants to interview you. I forced myself to sound spirited. That's great. Senior, why does your voice sound strange? Did the proposal not go well? I didn't speak, but tears fell uncontrollably. Senior, go to Y City, change your environment, and clear your mind. I'll keep an eye on things here. After hanging up, I returned to my rented room to pack my luggage. This was the place I had worked tirelessly to rent, all to give Wen Ning a stable home. But now, everything seemed like a joke. As I was packing, the door was suddenly pushed open. Wen Ning rushed in, followed by several of her girlfriends. Chen Xiao, what do you mean by humiliating me like that at the dinner? She questioned me self-righteously, hands on her hips. I continued packing my luggage, ignoring her. Stop acting so cold. She grabbed my arm. Who do you think you are? You're just a poor game designer. If it weren't for your decent face, I would have dumped you long ago. I shook off her hand. Wen Ning, enough. What? Now you know how to be tough. She sneered. Do you believe that I can get your game taken down with just one phone call? I turned around abruptly. What did you say? What? Scared. She smugly waved her phone. My current boyfriend is an executive at the Digital Cultural Creation Department. Just one phone call. If you dare to break up with me, I'll make these 5 years of your hard work go up in smoke. I clenched my fists, my nails digging deep into my palms. This game represents countless sleepless nights of my work, yet she wants to use it to threaten me. Also, she continued, have you forgotten about the 200,000 you borrowed from me last month? If I report to the police that you committed fraud, who do you think they'll believe? Me, an executive at a well-known company, or you, a poor loser without a proper job? That 200,000 was from a high-interest loan I took out to buy her a bag, and half of my monthly salary goes toward paying off that debt. Wen Ning, do you have any shame? I looked at her coldly. Shame? She laughed, even more unrestrained. You dare talk to me about shame? Do you know why I haven't let you touch me in these 5 years? Because I think you're poor. You disgust me. You thought you were respecting me? You simply weren't qualified. Her girlfriends giggled on the side, as if watching an entertaining show. She pulled out a limited edition handbag and waved it proudly in front of me. See this? It's from my new boyfriend. Way more premium than that 200,000 street market junk you got me. One of her girlfriends said with a laugh. Winning. Stop tormenting him. He borrowed from Loa. In sharks for that 200,000. I heard he pays over 3,000 in interest alone every month. TSK tisk. Winning shook her head dramatically. How pitiful. Chen Xiao, what were you thinking? Did you really believe this would make you worthy of me? Do you know what my new boyfriend said when he gave me this bag? She leaned in close to me, her voice filled with mockery. He said, a poor loser like you could never afford a bag like this in your entire life. Do you think he's right? I clenched my fists, my knuckles turning white. For 5 years, I lived frugally, saving every penny to give her the best. Yet in her eyes, my sacrifices meant nothing. Oh, right. She suddenly remembered something and took out her phone to scroll through it. That diamond ring you said you were going to buy me last time, I showed it to my boyfriend. He said that cheap knockoff is only worth a few thousand yuan, yet you told me it was 6 figures. She sneered. Did you think I was that easy to fool? A sharp pain stabbed at my heart. That diamond ring truly did cost me 6 figures, money I had saved up for a full 2 years. Wen Ning, that's enough. My voice shook slightly. What do you mean enough? She suddenly raised her voice. You don't actually think I would marry you, do you? Someone like you? You should take a good look at yourself. At that moment, her phone rang. It was that man calling. She answered the phone, her voice instantly becoming sweet and coy. Darling, I'm just handling a small matter. I'll be with you right away. After hanging up, she looked at me contemptuously. Did you hear that? This is the life I want. Not something a poor loser like you could ever provide. I took a deep breath and picked up my luggage, ready to leave. Stop right there. She blocked my way. If you dare leave, I'll call the Cultural Creative Department right now and have your game taken down immediately. I stopped, turned around and looked at her. Wen Ning, do you know why I never touched you all this time? She was momentarily stunned. Because I love you. I wanted to wait until our wedding day to give you a complete ceremony. But what about you? You only curse me as stupid and worthless behind my back. You're right. I am worthless. Worthless for being blind enough to fall for someone like you. Her expression changed dramatically. You dare speak to me like this? Do you believe I'll now? I interrupted her. Go ahead and report me for fraud. Go report my game. But Wen Ning, from today onward, we're finished. Have you gone mad? You think you can find a better woman than me if you leave? I didn't respond further, dragging my suitcase out the door. Behind me came her hysterical shouting. Chen Xiao, stop right there. You'll last 2 days at most before coming back begging. You're nothing without me, you useless waste. I walked into the elevator, listening as her verbal abuse gradually faded away. Taking out my phone, I sent a message to my junior. Help me book the earliest flight to Y City. He quickly replied, Senior, there's one at 4 a.m. Good, book that one. By the time I returned to my rental apartment and finished packing the rest of my things, it was already late night. As expected, when Ning hadn't been idle, my game suddenly received a flood of one-star negative reviews, accusing me of plagiarism and fraud. It seemed she really did use her connections, but I no longer cared. For 5 years, I had groveled like a dog to please her, only to receive endless humiliation in return. It was time to end this. In the early morning hours, I dragged my suitcase toward the airport, facing the cold wind, tasting freedom for the first time. The morning in Y City was more beautiful than I remembered. I checked into a hotel near the university, where everything felt both familiar and strange. 5 years ago when I left Y City, I thought I would return triumphantly with Wen Ning, but never imagined it would end like this. My phone rang with a message from Suhi. Heard you're back. Want to have breakfast together? Remember that bun shop behind our university? I paused for a moment. That bun shop was the place I visited most frequently during college. Sure, see you in 20 minutes. Walking into the bun shop, the familiar aroma washed over me. Suhi was already sitting in the corner waiting for me. She wore a simple white shirt, her long hair casually tied up, looking almost exactly the same as she did 5 years ago on campus. After all these years, you still like to sit in the corner, I said with a smile. She paused slightly. You still remember that? Of course I remember. I sat down across from her. You always said corners were quiet, good for reading. She poured me a cup of soy milk. You also remember that I love drinking soy milk. We smiled at each other, as if we had returned to our college days. Chin Chow, she suddenly said seriously. I have something I want to tell you. Looking at her serious expression, my heart inexplicably tightened. Actually, I like you. I've liked you since college. I was stunned. Sunlight streamed through the window onto her face, and for the first time, I noticed the sparkle in her eyes. Do you know? She stirred her soy milk while looking down. I come to this bun shop every day because I know you'll be here. Fragments of memories suddenly flashed through my mind. Every time I came for breakfast, I seemed to see her sitting in the corner reading a book. I thought it was just a coincidence then, but now thinking about it. Back then, you always came alone, but later, you started bringing winning. There was a hint of bitterness in her voice. The mention of winning made my heart ache again. Seemingly sensing the change in my mood, Suhi Q. Yukli said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned her. It's okay. I shook my head. It's all in the past. Chen Xiao, I know it might not be appropriate to say this now, but I want you to know the truth. What truth? She took a deep breath. Do you remember in sophomore year, when you were cornered by some seniors behind the gymnasium? I frowned. That was a memory I was most reluctant to revisit. At that time, I had participated in the school's game design competition and won first place. Several senior students were dissatisfied, accused me of cheating, and cornered me behind the gym demanding I admit my mistake. I remember, I said. It was when Ning who brought the counselor and saved me. Suhi shook her head. It wasn't her. It was me. I was stunned. What? That day I saw them surrounding you at the library, and I immediately went to find the counselor. But she bit her lip by the time the counselor arrived, when Ning was already standing there, claiming she was the one who reported it. My mind went blank. All these years, I had always thought it was when Ning who saved me. After that incident, we started dating. Later I asked her why she did that. Suhi continued. She said she had her eye on you and needed an opportunity to get close to you. My hands began to shake. So it had been a lie from the very beginning. After that day, you two started dating. I watched you treat her better and better, but didn't know how to tell you the truth. Suhi's voice became somewhat choked. I told myself that as long as you were happy, it was fine. But what? But I saw how she treated you behind your back. She was always showing off to her girlfriends, saying how easy you were to fool, saying that all she had to do was act cute, and you would obediently pay for her bags. Once, I couldn't help but remind her to cherish you. But she said. Suhi paused for a moment, as if hesitating whether to continue. What did she say? She said, once your game is launched and you make money, she would find an excuse to dump you. She said you were just her ATM. I closed my eyes, feeling a sharp pain in my chest. 5 years, a full 5 years, I had been played like a fool in the palm of her hand. I'm sorry, Chen Chao, Suhi said softly. I should have told you sooner. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I opened my eyes and looked at her. All these years, you've been silently watching me act foolishly. It must have been hard for you. Her eyes turned red. I just couldn't bear to see you being deceived. Especially when I heard you were going to propose, I was really scared. So when Luo Tao said you returned to Y City, So you came specifically to find me? She nodded. I couldn't watch you being hurt by her anymore. Sunlight spilled across the table, casting the shadows of two people. I suddenly remembered bits and pieces from college. The gentle smile when we happened to meet at the library, the band-aid she handed me in the cafeteria, the figure waiting silently outside the laboratory. It turns out, all those warm memories were related to the girl in front of me. Suhi, I said softly, thank you. She wiped the corner of her eye. I don't need your thanks. I just hope you can find true happiness. Looking at her clear eyes, a corner of my heart suddenly softened. Perhaps true happiness has always been nearby, only I was too obsessed and blind to see it. By the way, she seemed to remember something. I played your game, it's really great. Especially that NPC who silently protects the protagonist. It reminded me of myself. I was stunned. The prototype for that NPC was a gentle figure I often saw in the library. So, in my subconscious, I had always remembered her. Suhi. I took a deep breath. After I finish dealing with things here, shall we have a good talk? She showed that warm smile from college days. Sure, I'll wait for you. The morning sunlight grew more brilliant, shining on both our faces, dispelling all the gloom. At this moment, I suddenly understood that some people are worth starting over for. After parting with Suhi, I returned to the hotel to handle work. The game data was getting better and better, and the interview with Y City TV was scheduled for next week. My phone suddenly vibrated frantically. It was an unfamiliar number. I was about to hang up, but hesitated and answered anyway. Chen Xiao, it was Wen Ning's voice. You finally answered the phone. I said coldly, what is it? I was wrong. Her voice was tearful. Won't you come back? I know I was wrong, really. I didn't say anything. I've been thinking a lot these days, she continued. I found all those gifts you gave me. Do you remember? That painting you stayed up all night to draw for my birthday. The porridge you made for me for a whole week when I had a cold. How you always waited for me outside the office building when I worked late. So what? So I realized, I really miss you. Chen Xiao. Only after days without you did I understand how much I care about you. I laughed coldly. Wen Ning, is it me you care about, or the fact that my game is about to launch? There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. You know what? I continued. Those negative reviews you had people post actually made the game more popular. Now everyone is taking my side, saying someone is deliberately trying to smear me. That's not what I meant. She hurriedly explained. I was just upset at the time. Winning. I interrupted her. Do you know what I'm most grateful to you for? She was taken aback. What? I'm grateful that you helped me see how ridiculous I've been. For 5 years, I followed you around like AD. OG, took out high-interest loans for you, compromised myself for you. But in the end, I was nothing in your eyes. That's not true. Chen Xiao, I really know I was wrong. Can you give me one more chance? I promise I'll treat you well from now on. Enough, I said coldly. Do you think I would believe you again? Then tell me. She suddenly became hysterical. Is it Suhi? Is she seducing you? I've seen it all along. She's had feelings for you since university. I gripped my phone tightly. Don't project your sordid thoughts onto others. Huh, she sneered. Isn't that what all you men do? Discard the old when you find a better option. Winning. I took a deep breath. Are you in any position to say such things? The other end of the line suddenly went silent. After a long while, she finally said in a low voice, I'm sorry. I got too emotional. Chen Xiao, can you give me one more chance, please? Just one. No, I said decisively. Never possible. After hanging up, I turned off my phone and opened my computer to handle work. Not long after, there was a sudden knock on the door. Opening the door, Wen Ning stood at the entrance, her makeup disheveled, eyes red and swollen. Why are you here? I checked every hotel in Y City to finally find you. She forced her way into the room. Chen Xiao, let's talk properly. There's nothing to talk about. You can't be like this. She suddenly rushed over and hugged me. These 5 years, we've been together for so long. You said you would always love me. I pushed her away forcefully. Yes, I did say that. But that was before I knew the truth. She froze. What truth? In sophomore year, behind the gymnasium, the person who saved me was Suhi, not you. I looked at her coldly. You've been lying to me from the very beginning. Her face turned pale. You? How did you find out? Does it matter? I asked in return. What matters is that you could lie to me about something like this. I did it because I liked you. Her voice grew increasingly faint. Liked me? I laughed coldly. Liked me enough to call me an ATM behind my back? Liked me enough to humiliate me at every turn? She collapsed to the floor. I'm sorry. I really know I was wrong. At that moment, my phone rang. It was a message from Suhi. The interview time is set for next Wednesday. By the way, the offer from Silicon Valley came through. They really admire your work. Looking at my phone, the corners of my mouth lifted into a smile. When Ning noticed the change in my expression, you're going to Silicon Valley? I didn't deny it. After the game launches, I'll be developing in Silicon Valley. No. She suddenly stood up. You can't leave. If you dare to go, you'll what? I interrupted her. Have your new boyfriend blacklist my game again? She bit her lip, tears flowing nonstop. Please, give me one more chance. I really can't live without you. But I've already left you behind long ago. I opened the door. Winning, please leave. No, I won't go. Not unless you forgive me. I shook my head. You know what? Looking at you now, I don't feel anything anymore. I'm too tired to even hate you. She stared at me blankly, as if seeing me for the first time. Goodbye, Winning, I said softly. I wish you happiness. Watching her leave in a daze, I let out a long breath. Outside the window, City's sunshine remained bright, and my future would begin under a different sky. Picking up my phone, I replied to Suhi, thank you. See you next week. This time, I finally learned to cherish those who are truly worth it. The interview with City TV was successful, and my game story was featured across major media. Chen Xiao, congratulations. After the interview, Suhi smiled and said, you know what? You're trending. I checked my phone, and indeed, #genius game designer Chen Xiao hashtag had already reached the top 3 on the trending list. Let's go. I'm treating you to dinner, I said. Just as I walked out of the TV station, I saw Wen Ning standing at the entrance. She looked much more haggard, with a bouquet of flowers in her hands. Chen Xiao. She called my name timidly. I frowned. Why are you here again? I watched your interview. She handed me the flowers. I'm really proud of you. I didn't take the flowers. Wen Ning, what exactly do you want? I want to tell you that I broke up with him. She said eagerly. I know I was wrong, really. All this time, I've been thinking about you every day, about all our memories together. Suhi gently tugged at my sleeve, signaling whether we should leave first. Wen Ning noticed this gesture, and her eyes immediately turned sharp. Suhi, are you satisfied now? Finally stole Chen Xiao away. Enough, I interrupted her harshly. Stop projecting your filthy thoughts onto others. I'm filthy, she sneered. What about you? How long has it been since we broke up, and you're already with her? Why pretend to be so dedicated? I looked at her and suddenly smiled. Wen Ning, do you know what's most ridiculous about you? She was taken aback. You always measure others by your own standards. You think everyone is as hypocritical and materialistic as you are. I continued, but you're wrong. Not everyone is like you. Remember what you said? That I was a kept man, that I wasn't good enough for you. I stared at her coldly. And now? You see I've become successful, so you want to come back and take advantage? Her face turned pale. That's not it. I truly realized I was wrong. Wrong? I snorted. Wrong about what? Wrong for not realizing sooner that I could be successful? Or wrong for letting someone else get ahead of you? Chen Xiao, you've changed. She bit her lip. You weren't like this before. Yes, I've changed. I looked straight into her eyes. I'm no longer that pathetic admirer you can humiliate. Her tears began to fall. But I truly love you. Love me, I sneered. Winning, you don't even understand what love is. At this moment, my phone rang. It was a video call from Silicon Valley. Excuse me, I need to take this call. I turned to leave. Wait. She suddenly rushed over and hugged me. You can't treat me like this. I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I'll do whatever you want. Please give me one more chance. I pushed her away forcefully. Winning, you're truly pathetic. She was stunned. Do you think I still care about your tears? I said coldly. Each of your tears is worth less than a single sneer from when you humiliated me. Chen Xiao, you know what? Looking at you now, I only feel disgust. I said each word deliberately. Your persistence only makes me more certain that leaving you was the best decision I've ever made. She collapsed onto the floor. You. How can you be so heartless? Heartless? I laughed. When you called me worthless back then, why didn't you think you were being heartless? When you threatened to ban my game, why didn't you think you were being heartless? She was speechless. Wen Ning, remember this. I looked down at her. It's not that I've changed, but that I've finally seen your true face. Suhi came over to support me. Let's go. Just ignore her. Wen Ning suddenly screamed. You slut. You're just a homewrecker. You've been trying to steal Chen Xiao since university. Passers-by were attracted over, pointing and whispering. I turned around, my eyes cold. Wen Ning, try saying that again. She was frightened by my gaze and shrank her neck. I'll say this one last time. My voice was soft, but each word cut like a knife. I don't love you anymore, not even a little. In my heart, you mean less to me than a stranger. No, impossible, she mumbled. You said you would love me forever. Yes, I did say that. I smiled. But that was before you hurt me time and time again. Wen Ning, some things, once done, can never be undone. After saying this, I took Suhi's hand. Let's go, don't keep Silicon Valley waiting. Behind me came Wen Ning's cries, but I didn't look back. Some people aren't worth looking back for. Some loves should just be carried away by the wind. After walking some distance, Suhi softly asked, Are you okay? Looking at her gentle eyes, I smiled. Never been better. The sunshine was just right, and I could finally hold my head high. walking toward my own future. And all that past humiliation and pain would eventually become a lesson on my life's journey. The most precious thing isn't revenge, but learning to grow from the hurt, learning to cherish those who are truly worthy. A month later, I was packing my luggage preparing to go to Silicon Valley when my phone suddenly rang. It was Luo Tao calling. "Senior brother, something happened." His voice was urgent. "When Ning, she's gone crazy." I frowned. "What do you mean?" "She was causing a scene downstairs at the company, saying she wanted to see you. When security stopped her, she started crying, saying you ruined her life." I smirked. "Ignore her." "But," Luo Tao hesitated for a moment. "She said if she couldn't see you, she would commit suicide." I remained silent briefly. "That's her choice." After hanging up, I continued packing my luggage. Just then, Suhi walked in. "I just saw the news. When Ning was dumped by her boyfriend." "Oh." I didn't even look up. "That guy publicly announced on social media that when Ning was a manipulative woman who tried to use him to hurt you. But when she realized you had better prospects, she wanted to come back to you." I smiled slightly. "She deserves it." As we were talking, my phone rang again. It was a video from Wen Ning. I was about to delete it, but seeing the first line, I clicked to open it. "Chin Chao, this is the last time I'll bother you." In the video, she stood on top of a tall building, her makeup disheveled, her eyes desperate. "Do you know, I truly regret it now. I regret treating you that way. Regret not cherishing your sincere feelings. Now I have nothing left. I've lost my job, my reputation is ruined, and even my last support has left me." Her voice was choked with tears. "I finally understand. All of this is my own doing. I hurt the person who loved me most in this world, and now, heaven is punishing me. The revenge you wanted, I've already tasted it. Now, let me use this method to atone for my sins." The video abruptly ended. I put down my phone and continued packing my luggage. Aren't you going to help her?" Suhi seemed worried. I shook my head. "She won't jump. People like her are the best at acting." Sure enough, half an hour later, Luo Tao sent a message. When Ning had been taken down from the rooftop by the police. Apparently, she had intended to put on a show to gain sympathy, but the security guard had called the police in advance. "She has nothing left now," Suhi said softly. "This is her karmic retribution," I said calmly. "When she hurt me so deeply back then, why didn't she think about today?" In the evening, I went to the airport with Suhi. On the way, we received a message that when Ning had been sent to a psychiatric hospital. Apparently, she was acting deranged all day, telling everyone she was my girlfriend and that she needed to stop me from going to Silicon Valley. Serves her right. That's all I said. Before the plane took off, I received one last message. When Ning's parents came to apologize, saying she had completely broken down and begged me to go see her. I deleted the message immediately. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. Some harm should be repaid with a lifetime of suffering. "Are you ready?" Suhi asked gently. I looked at the night sky outside the window and smiled. "I'm ready. My new life is about to begin. And as for the person who once hurt me,